What if something as simple as water, the very thing we've been drinking our entire lives, could quietly influence how steady and stable your energy feels throughout the day? What if the way you hydrate could support your body's ability to use what it already has more efficiently than you ever imagined? Most people hear that and think it sounds far too simple to matter. Many say, I've been drinking water for decades. How could something so basic make any difference now? And honestly, I understand that reaction, especially if you've already spent years trying different approaches, hoping for stability and predictability in how your body behaves. Maybe you've tried routines that felt impossible to maintain. Maybe you've bought supplements that promised great results but never actually changed how you felt. Maybe you followed advice that looked good on paper, yet made little difference in real life. Stay with me because what I'm going to share is something I've seen bring clarity, steadiness, and comfort to people in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. People who were already doing everything they were told to do and still felt stuck. Today, I want to explain how the timing, temperature, and consistency of your hydration can support your body in a gentle but meaningful way, not by replacing anything your healthcare provider has recommended, but by helping your body work with more ease. Before we dive in, I'd love to know where you're watching from. Leave your country or city in the comments. It always amazes me how many people around the world are walking through the same challenges together, often without even realizing it. Now, let's start with something important. What naturally changes in your body after your 60s? Because once you understand this, everything else suddenly makes sense. As we age, our bodies shift, not in dramatic, frightening ways, but in small, steady ways that influence how we process the things we eat and drink. After 60, your cells may not respond as quickly to the signals they receive. Your body may not use its natural resources with the same efficiency it once had. You may notice that the same daily habits you've had for years suddenly don't produce the same results. It's not your fault. It's not something you did wrong. It's simply part of the natural rhythm of maturing. There are three changes that matter most for hydration and energy. One, your cells become slower to respond to the natural messages in your body. Two, the systems that support energy and metabolism don't activate as quickly as before. Three, your body's sense of thirst becomes much less sensitive with age. And that last one is incredibly important. Even when you feel fine, even when you don't feel thirsty at all, your body may already be running low on hydration. Not dangerously low, but low enough that your body begins to work harder than it needs to. And here's the surprising part. Even mild dehydration, the kind you barely notice, can make your body feel sluggish, foggy, or inconsistent throughout the day. Let me share a story to explain this better. I once spoke with a man named Gerald in his late 60s. Before he even sat down, I could see the exhaustion in his face, the frustration of someone who had been trying everything and still couldn't understand why he felt up and down every single day. He exercised, ate carefully, followed recommendations, woke up early, kept a notebook of his routines, but something still didn't feel right for him. We went through his entire morning step by step, and everything he did was consistent, except for one thing. He went 8 hours through the night without water, which is normal, but then he added another full hour after waking up, still no hydration. That meant 9 continuous hours with nothing to help his body recover from the natural dryness of sleep. What happened next transformed him more than he expected, and what he changed was simple, very simple. But I'll come back to that in a moment, because before we talk about what helps, we need to talk about the three habits that quietly work against many people as they age, even when they don't realize it. Let's talk about the three hydration habits that quietly create more difficulty than most people realize. These habits are extremely common, and almost everyone over 60 is doing at least one of them without knowing the impact. Habit number one, waiting until you actually feel thirsty. This is one of the most misunderstood signals in the human body. Many people assume that thirst is an early warning sign, a gentle reminder that it's time to drink. But as we age, thirst doesn't function that way anymore. For younger people, thirst appears early. For older adults, thirst shows up late, long after the body has already been asking for support. Your mouth may feel normal, your energy may feel fine, but at a cellular level, your body may already be working harder than it should, simply because it has less fluid than it needs to function smoothly. I often describe it like this. Picture a river. When the river is full, it carries everything along with ease. When the water level drops even a little, that same river becomes slow and heavy. It doesn't stop working, it just struggles more than necessary. That's exactly how your body operates when you're slightly dehydrated, even by just a small amount. Habit number two, drinking large amounts all at once instead of steadily throughout the day. This is incredibly common. Many people wake up, drink their coffee, get busy with morning tasks, and suddenly realize hours have passed without drinking any plain water. Then they think, let me catch up, and drink a large glass all at once. The intention is good, but the body doesn't work that way. Your system absorbs water best in small portions, spaced throughout the day. When you drink a lot at once, your body can't use it all immediately. Much of it simply passes through without supporting your cells the way you intended. Imagine watering a plant. If you pour too much water too quickly, most of it spills out of the pot. But if you water it gradually, the soil absorbs exactly what it needs. Your body works in a similar way. Habit number three, choosing very cold water at the wrong times. This surprises a lot of people. Cold water feels refreshing, especially first thing in the morning or on a warm day. But when water is extremely cold, your body reacts in a subtle way that most people never think about. Your vessels naturally tighten in response to the temperature change. That tightening can make it harder for hydration to move efficiently through your system. When your body is trying to support its natural balance, especially around meals or early in the morning, warm or room temperature water is far more gentle and supportive. Once people understand these three habits, everything begins to make sense. And this brings me back to Gerald, the man from the story earlier. He wasn't doing anything wrong. His day just didn't include the kind of hydration pattern that supports the natural changes that come with age. When we made a few small strategic adjustments, his energy became steadier, his mornings felt calmer, and the unpredictability that had been troubling him began to settle down. What did he start doing? Something incredibly simple. Every morning, before anything else, before coffee, before breakfast, before checking the news, he drank a glass of warm water with a very tiny pinch of natural salt and a little fresh lemon. Then he added one small glass of water before meals and gentle sips throughout the day. And that shift created a noticeable difference. But before I share the complete method, step by step, I want to explain why these changes matter so much after the age of 60. Understanding the why makes it far easier to stay consistent because you'll finally see the connection between hydration patterns and how your body feels. To understand why hydration timing becomes so important after 60, we need to look at a few natural changes that happen inside the body with age. None of these changes are signs of failure or decline. They're simply part of how the body adjusts over time. Here are the three shifts that matter most. Shift number one, cells become less responsive. As we mature, our cells don't react as quickly to the natural signals that help maintain energy, stability, and balance. This isn't dangerous. It's simply a slowing of a system that has been working faithfully for decades. But this slower response means the body benefits from more consistent daily support, especially from hydration. Shift number two, the body's natural resources are used differently. Your body still works hard every day, even if you don't feel it happening. But the way it uses water, the way it directs energy, and the way it regulates itself may not be as fast or as efficient as before. Because of this, hydration becomes more than just something you should do. It becomes one of the easiest ways to help your body feel steadier and more comfortable. Shift number three, the sense of thirst becomes less sensitive. This is the one most people don't realize. You might go many hours without feeling thirsty at all, even when your body already needs hydration. And because you don't feel thirst, you don't get the early signal to sip water. By the time you finally think, I should drink something, your body may have already been working harder than necessary. This is why mornings are especially important. After going through the night without drinking anything, the body wakes up naturally low on fluids. And if the morning continues without water, if you go straight to coffee or breakfast, the gap becomes even larger. That's exactly what happened with Gerald. That one extra hour in the morning made a much bigger difference than he realized. When he began hydrating earlier with warm water instead of cold, his mornings began to feel more stable. His energy wasn't bouncing around. He described it as a sense of calm returning, something he hadn't felt in a long time. But Gerald wasn't the only one. Another woman I worked with, named Elizabeth, had a similar experience. She was in her early 70s and had been doing everything she believed would support her health. But she still woke up feeling foggy and drained, wondering why her mornings seemed so unpredictable. When she added a simple morning hydration routine, warm water, a touch of minerals, and a squeeze of lemon, she told me, I feel like someone turned the lights back on. Her thinking felt clearer. Her morning routine felt smoother. And she noticed that her overall day had more steadiness to it. Now, it's important to say this clearly. This approach isn't about replacing anything your doctor tells you, and it isn't about trying to create a miracle overnight. It's about giving your body gentle support every single day, support that works with your natural rhythms instead of against them. Before we go into the complete method, let's talk about the most common question people have once they hear all this. How much water should I actually drink? And here's where the simplicity returns, because the answer isn't complicated. Your body needs steady, predictable hydration throughout the day, not big amounts all at once, not long periods of dryness followed by a rush of water, but small, regular, thoughtful sips. But the timing of your hydration matters even more than the total amount. So let's break down the method step by step. I want to share with you the simple approach I teach many people who want their body to feel steadier, clearer, and more supported throughout the day. It's gentle, it's practical, and it works with your natural rhythms. I call it the H3 method, not because it's complicated, but because it's built around two sets of three ideas, three key timing points, and three essential elements that make these timing points effective. Let's begin with the timing points. Timing point number one, right after waking up. This is the single most important moment of your entire day when it comes to hydration. Think about it. You've just gone many hours without drinking anything at all. Your body has been resting, repairing, and using fluid for essential nighttime processes. So the moment you wake up, you have a choice. You can give your body the slow, gentle support it needs, or you can delay it for another hour, which adds to the natural dryness from the night. That's why the very first thing you do before coffee, before food, before emails or news should be a glass of warm water. Not hot, not ice cold, just pleasantly warm. And here's the gentle addition that enhances this morning routine. A tiny pinch of natural, unprocessed salt, just the amount that fits on the tip of a small knife, and a squeeze of fresh lemon. Why these additions? The minerals in natural salt support your body's ability to use the water you drink instead of letting it pass through too quickly. Lemon provides a touch of natural brightness that many people find helps them start their day with more clarity and less morning heaviness. One woman named Elizabeth told me something beautiful after just a few weeks of practicing this morning step. She said, "My mornings feel softer. I wake up and I don't feel that fog anymore." And that sense of morning steadiness is something many people describe once they begin hydrating earlier in the day. Timing. Point number 2, before meals. About 15 minutes before lunch and before dinner, drink a small glass of water, about 1 cup. This simple step does two things. One, it helps your body ease into the process of digestion rather than rushing into it. Two, it helps your system handle the natural rise in energy that comes from eating in a more gradual and gentle way. Many people tell me that when they begin doing this consistently, their afternoons and evenings feel smoother. They don't get the sudden drop of energy that used to happen. That steadiness alone brings a tremendous sense of comfort. Timing. Point number 3, during physical activity. This is a step many people overlook. If you're walking, gardening, cleaning, or doing anything active for more than 20 minutes, your body needs small sips of water during the activity, not only afterward. Think of it as keeping your fuel steady, rather than letting your tank run low and trying to refill it all at once. A small sip every 10-15 minutes is enough. Not large gulps, not big glasses, just a gentle, steady flow. This keeps your system supported during activity instead of after it. Now that you understand the timing, let's shift to the second part of this method, the 3 essential elements. These elements are what make the timing effective. Now let's walk through the 3 essential elements that make the hydration timing actually work. Without these, the timing alone won't be nearly as effective. These elements don't require anything complicated. They don't involve expensive supplements or special products. They're simply gentle principles that support how your body naturally functions. Element number 1, temperature matters. Warm or room temperature water is much easier for your body to welcome, especially in the morning and before meals. It doesn't create sudden internal tension, and it doesn't make your body work harder than necessary. Cold water has its place. It can feel refreshing and enjoyable. But when your body is trying to ease into the day or ease into digestion, warm water is far more supportive. Many people tell me that warm water in the morning helps them start the day with more clarity and less discomfort. They feel more grounded. They feel more awake, but not in a jarring way. Element number 2, minerals matter. This doesn't mean taking large quantities of anything. Just a tiny pinch of natural salt in your morning water, barely enough to taste, is often enough to help your body use the water more efficiently. Minerals act like small guides, helping hydration move into the areas where your body needs it most. Without these gentle helpers, water may pass through too quickly, offering less support than you intended. And that's why the tiny pinch matters. It's not about quantity. It's about simply giving your hydration a bit of direction. If you use salt, choose one that isn't processed or stripped. Something natural and unrefined is best. Element number 3, consistency matters. Most your body thrives on rhythm. It loves patterns. It functions beautifully when given regular support rather than occasional bursts. If you hydrate early one day, skip the next day, drink lots on day 3, and little on day 4, your body doesn't get the steady flow it needs. But when you form a simple routine, morning hydration, pre-meal hydration, small sips during activity, your body begins to adjust in a positive way. You may notice your energy feels smoother, your mornings feel gentler, your evenings feel calmer, and your thinking feels clearer. Not because you changed everything at once, but because you created a small, consistent habit that supports your system day after day. Now, before I share what kind of daily amount tends to work for most people, I want to tell you one more story because it beautifully shows what happens when someone finally gives their body the hydration pattern it has been quietly needing. Her name was Dorothy. She was in her 70s, had been trying many different approaches for years, and felt frustrated and discouraged. She wasn't doing anything wrong. She simply wasn't giving her body the hydration rhythm that fit her stage of life. She told me she barely drank water during the day, not because she didn't want to, but because she rarely felt thirsty. She preferred coffee, tea, and small sips here and there, but she rarely drank plain water consistently. When she started the H3 method, she didn't expect much. She said it felt too simple to matter. But 6 weeks later, she walked into my office looking noticeably more energized. Her eyes were brighter. Her skin looked healthier. She told me she had begun gardening again, something she had stopped doing 2 years earlier because she didn't have the energy. What she felt wasn't dramatic, it was steady. She said, "I feel like myself again. I didn't realize how thirsty my body actually was." That's the beauty of this approach. It doesn't force anything, it doesn't push your body. It simply supports what your body already wants to do. And now let's talk about the part everyone wonders about. How much water should you drink each day, and how do you know it's enough? Let's talk about something simple and practical: how much water your body usually needs, and how to tell if you're getting enough. Here's an easy way to think about it. Your body doesn't work well with extremes, too much at once or too little throughout the day. It does best with a steady flow. A helpful guideline many people use is to drink enough water so that your hydration stays consistent from morning to evening. One practical way to achieve this is by using a bottle you refill a few times per day. It removes guesswork and creates a natural rhythm. But the more important question is this: how do you know if your hydration is on track? There's a simple indicator that works surprisingly well. Your hydration should be steady enough that your body feels comfortable, your energy feels balanced, and your urine has a pale, light yellow color, neither too dark nor completely clear. That pale shade is a good sign of balance. Too dark means you need more fluids. Completely clear may mean you're drinking too much too quickly. Aim for that gentle middle ground. Another helpful habit is keeping water visible throughout the day. When your bottle or glass is easy to reach, you naturally sip more often without forcing it. Many people find this single habit changes everything. Now, what can you expect once you begin following the H3 method consistently? Here's what many people notice. Week 1. You may feel like you're visiting the bathroom more often. This is completely normal. Your body is adjusting to receiving hydration more regularly. After a few days, this settles down on its own. Week 2, mornings usually start to feel steadier. People often describe clearer thinking, more even energy, and fewer sudden drops in how they feel throughout the day. Many say they finally understand what it feels like to wake up hydrated rather than waking up already behind. Weeks 3 and 4, your body often starts showing small but meaningful signs of improvement. Better steadiness during the day, smoother digestion, clearer focus, and more consistent energy. Many people say their sleep feels more restorative as well. But the comment I hear the most often is this: I feel like myself again. Not younger, not transformed, simply more grounded and more balanced. And that is the entire purpose of this method. This approach isn't meant to replace anything your doctor recommends. It's not meant to be a magic fix. It's simply a supportive routine that helps your body work the way it naturally wants to. For some people, this gentle shift makes other parts of their routine more effective as well. When your body is well supported, everything it's already doing tends to work with a little more ease. If you have any health conditions that affect how your body handles fluids, Always follow your personal guidance from a healthcare professional. Everyone's journey is different, but for many people, this method becomes a steady, comforting habit that brings real improvement. Before we wrap up, I want to share one last story because it captures everything we've talked about. Dorothy, the woman who struggled for many years, once told me something that stayed with me. After weeks of consistent hydration, she said, I wish someone had explained this to me earlier. It wasn't complicated. It was just something no one ever taught me. That's why I share this information. Because so many people are doing their best, trying incredibly hard and feeling discouraged, when sometimes the answer is gentler and simpler than anyone expects. I want to encourage you, try this method for 14 days, just 2 weeks. Start with warm water in the mornings. Take a small glass before meals. Sip through your activities. Give your body the steady rhythm it deserves. And pay attention to how you feel, your energy, your mornings, your clarity, your comfort. If you notice improvement, continue. Let this become your new daily rhythm. And if this message brought you insight or comfort today, please take a moment to say, I watched till the end in the comments. It helps me see that this information is reaching the people who need it most. If this video helped you, consider sharing it with someone who would benefit from a simple, gentle shift in their daily routine. A friend, a loved one, someone who has been trying hard and deserves to feel better. And if you'd like more guidance, tips, and simple strategies for supporting your well being, feel free to subscribe and turn on notifications. I create these messages to help people just like you live with more ease and confidence. Thank you for spending your time here with me today. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.